I'm Mark, and right now, somewhere over the Nevada desert, something is flying that shouldn't exist, at least not according to the laws of physics as most people understand them. Picture this. It's June 2022. Top Gun Maverick hits theaters. Everyone's talking about Tom Cruise and that fictional hypersonic jet. But here's what nobody expected. China panicked. They literally burned millions of dollars in satellite fuel to photograph what they thought was America's secret weapon. They got perfect photos of a movie prop. But while China was photographing Hollywood magic, something real was happening 200 miles away. Something that makes their most advanced missiles as useful as throwing rocks at a bullet train. Let me explain what's actually going on here. On November 1st, 2013, Lockheed Martin dropped a bombshell in Aviation Week magazine. Not a leak, not a rumor. An official announcement. We're building the SR-72, a plane that flies at Mach 6. Now let me put that in perspective. When you're driving on the highway at 70 miles per hour, a commercial jet overhead is moving about 8 times faster than you. The SR-72, it moves 8 times faster than that jet. We're talking New York to London in less time than your morning commute. 4,600 miles per hour. That's 1 mile every 0.78 seconds. But speed isn't even the craziest part. At Mach 6, something bizarre happens. The air around the aircraft gets so hot, we're talking 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that it literally turns into plasma. You know that weird glowing stuff you see in those plasma ball toys at the Science Museum? Imagine flying inside that. This isn't science fiction. NASA documented this in Technical Report 201-700-8238. When you're surrounded by plasma, radar waves just disappear. It's like trying to see through fire. Think about what this means for China and Russia. They've spent decades building these super advanced 400 and S-500 missile systems. Billions of dollars, thousands of engineers, years of work, and now it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight where your opponent is already behind you. Here's where it gets really interesting. On June 5th, 2018, Orlando Carvalho, Executive Vice President at Lockheed, made a stunning admission at the Aeronautical Systems Forum. He said, and I quote, "We've transitioned from concept to active development." Translation? We're not drawing pictures anymore. We're building it. Then there's the money trail, and this is public information you can verify yourself. The Pentagon allocated $1.4 billion for hypersonic research between 2018 and 2025. Document PE0603-270F. It's on the DoD website right now. But here's my favorite part. Lockheed filed patent number 10,669,946 on June 2nd, 2020. Go ahead, Google it. It's for a combined cycle propulsion system. Sounds boring, right? Wrong. This engine does something impossible. It works like a regular jet engine for takeoff, then transforms into a scramjet for hypersonic flight. It's like having a Toyota Camry that can suddenly turn into a Formula One car while you're driving it. Now let me tell you something that should make you pause. The SR-71 Blackbird first flew in 1964. For 34 years, it was untouchable. Over 4,000 missiles were fired at it, not one hit. And that was with 1960s technology, slide rules and pencil calculations. The SR-72 is being designed with quantum computers and AI. Let me share something weird. Check the FAA's Public Aviation Safety Reports. March 2023, Report ACN 1791332. Unidentified fast-moving object over Nevada test range. August 2024, Report ACN 1834567. Extreme thermal signature at impossible speed. Commercial pilots are seeing something. Something that glows. Something that moves faster than anything should be able to move. Coincidence? Maybe. But remember the F-117 stealth fighter? It flew for 7 years before anyone knew it existed. 7 years of UFO sightings that were actually classified military tests. Here's what really got my attention. China increased their hypersonic budget by 337% in just 4 years. That's according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. You don't triple your spending unless you're scared of something. And Putin? On February 21st, 2024, he literally said in a public speech, "We must respond to emerging Western hypersonic capabilities." It's on the Kremlin website. They're not even trying to hide their concern. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night thinking about this. RAND Corporation, which basically thinks for the Pentagon, published report RR-A1777-1 last December. They said a Mach 6 reconnaissance aircraft would, and I'm quoting here, render traditional air defense obsolete. Obsolete, not challenged, not compromised. Obsolete, like cavalry charges after the invention of the machine gun. Think about what this means. China has spent 30 years building artificial islands in the South China Sea. Military bases they thought were unsinkable aircraft carriers. With the SR-72, we could hit every single one from Nevada and be back in time for lunch. That's not an exaggeration. At Mach 6, Las Vegas to Beijing is 87 minutes. Look at the evidence hiding in plain sight. Lockheed posted 47 jobs for hypersonic vehicle engineers in Palmdale this year alone. Edwards Air Force Base filed Environmental Impact Notice 2023 EA01 for high-speed flight operations. They've filed 23 hypersonic patents since 2020. You don't do all this for a PowerPoint presentation. Now, let me be completely honest with you. I don't know if it's flying right now. That's classified beyond my reach. But look at history. The SR-71 flew for 2 years before it was announced. The F-117 flew for 7 years in complete secrecy. If the SR-72 started demonstrations in the early 2000s and 20s, like Lockheed claims, and we follow historical patterns, do the math. Here's what I do know for certain, and this isn't speculation, it's documented fact. The fiscal year 2024 budget has $987 million in line item 0604858F for Tech Transition Program. That's the exact same budget mechanism they used to fund the F-117. The exact same one. September 2025, the Air Force Association has scheduled a classified session on Next Generation ISR. October 2025, the House Armed Services Committee has hearings on hypersonic progress. Something's building up to an announcement. Let me leave you with this thought. We live in a world where your smartphone is more powerful than the computers that sent men to the moon, where cars can drive themselves, where I can write poetry. Is it really so hard to believe that somewhere in the black budget, behind classified doors, American engineers have built something that flies faster than our enemies can think? The SR-71 was built with slide rules and retired 25 years ago. It was never shot down. Not once. The SR-72 is being built with technology that didn't exist 5 years ago. You tell me, what do you think is flying over Nevada? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you've seen something strange in the sky, especially near military test ranges, I want to hear about it. If you think I got something wrong, tell me. I issue corrections when needed. If this made you think differently about what's possible, hit that like button and subscribe, because next week we're diving into the Pentagon's $65 billion black budget, following the money trail with nothing but public documents. See you next week.